So good.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kirsten. A lot of you don't know this, but I have several autoimmune conditions. I have Crohn's disease, and then I also found out a couple years ago I have endometriosis. So I really try my best to prioritize healthy living. I try to stick to the whole food diet. So today I thought I would share with you my all-time favorite meal to cook. I am a big advocate for meal prepping. I'm a nurse and I have to be at work most days at 5:30 in the morning. So I need quick and simple meal prep ideas. I have to be able to grab it and go. So let's get into it.
Okay, technical difficulties with the camera, but the show must move on. So I have out 2 pans right here. I'm a big, huge fan of cast iron skillet. It is the healthiest option that you can choose for your body. Another option you can use is stainless steel pans, pots and pans, or glassware. But you just want to make sure you are not using Teflon because they have PFAS in them, which are forever chemicals. So a lot of them are like Teflon pans, the cool non-stick pans that you see everywhere, those have forever chemicals in them. When you heat them up on the stove, it gets so hot that it releases the chemicals into the air, and then you're breathing in all those chemicals into your lungs. And then it gets into your bloodstream and it causes all these hormonal issues, and people wonder why their hormones are messed up. So just stick to cast iron, stainless steel, and glass. Okay, so we're gonna start preparing our vegetables. The number one thing, I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are very good for people with autoimmune diseases, so sweet potatoes are a must in my household. And then we're also gonna use some onions to like kind of saute the meat, give it a little bit of flavor. A lot of people with health issues, autoimmune diseases, cannot tolerate onions and garlic. So if you're one of those people, then just forget about this step. Onions and garlic don't bother me, so that's why I'm gonna use them because of the health benefits. We got organic carrots. I prefer to buy the big guys. Then we got some bell peppers. I usually like to use zucchini in this concoction, but I don't have any zucchini. They're out of season, of course. We're working with what we got here, but you can add any type of vegetable that you like. The key is getting your vegetables as tender as possible so that it's easier to digest.
This is also just such a fun activity to do with your children and just kind of involve them in the kitchen with you.
You having fun?
Mm-hmm.
I like to dice these up and put them in a glass pan like this. These are going to bake in the oven by themselves. Now guys, I know this is a lot of prepping, all of these veggies, but you gotta choose your hard. So yes, prepping vegetables and eating healthy is hard, but also being unhealthy, being stuck in the hospital, being miserable, that's also hard. I've learned from experience. I like to romanticize cutting up my veggies. Usually I like to light a candle, make it romantic. Or you could also have a TV show going, you could have a podcast going, the radio going, just something to calm your brain and just like enjoy this time. Slow down, enjoy motherhood, enjoy cooking healthy, and your mindset will really change. You will be surprised. Gotta move this out of the way. I put a little bit of avocado oil with my sweet potatoes and kind of toss them. These are gonna go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. Okay, so now we're finally gonna get into our skillets. This skillet is gonna have the meat inside of it, and I want my onions in here. I definitely like my onions sauteed, so I'm gonna saute my onions first. Okay, and then in this cast iron skillet, we're gonna have all of our veggies. So this is the bowl that has our carrots and bell peppers. I really wish I had one more vegetable just to give it more color, but this is all I got. Think you can do it? So I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this next part, but I actually like to saute my vegetables in 100% grass-fed butter. Butter is actually good for you guys. It's part of a healthy fat. Your brain needs fat actually. So just make sure it's a good quality butter. But it also just gives the vegetables this really good flavor that oil cannot give it. Now, if you're completely against butter, I completely understand. If you do not want to use butter, I would use the Chosen 100% pure avocado oil. This is my all-time favorite avocado oil. When you're cooking like this, you want to make sure you're cooking with avocado oil and not olive oil, because avocado oil has a very high smoke point. You can see on the bottle. On the bottle it says 500°F smoke point. So that just means that when it's cooking the oil, if it gets to a certain degree, once again, it's going to release those chemicals into the air. So you really want to make sure you're using an oil that has a high smoke point. Now we're going to move on to our meat. You want to use anything that is ground. So you can use ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef. I personally love ground beef, but it's not the healthiest for you. And today I'm going to be using ground turkey. So we got our meat cooking. This is when we're going to add in our spices. So I'm going to do a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Turmeric is actually really good for inflammation, so we're gonna add that into the meat. When you're using turmeric, just make sure you got the black pepper. The black pepper activates the turmeric. We're gonna do garlic powder, and then we're gonna do oregano. And then we're gonna give it a good mix. So we can't forget about our veggies. And so I'm gonna add a couple spices to this. I'm gonna do pepper, some more salt, and I'm gonna do just a little bit of oregano. Just, whoa, that is not a little bit. Oh crap. A little bit of oregano. Moving back to the meat, so what really makes this recipe so good is if you buy a tomato sauce and dump it in here, kind of make it like a paste. That gives it so much flavor and it's so good. However, my Crohn's disease can no longer tolerate tomato sauce, so I am gonna keep this part out. Okay guys, we're almost on the last step. So this is my holy grail. Holy grail. I love this stuff so much. If you don't know, Coconut Secret coconut aminos. So I just found this at Walmart. For this step, I do not measure at all. I just kind of go to town, just kind of eyeball it. Make sure you strain your meat. Ellie dished me to go play karaoke, so if you hear her singing, be glad you're not here. 40 minutes, our sweet potatoes are done. Okay, it's time to eat. So I like to eat this in a bowl, but you can eat it however you want. So I will do the sweet potatoes, the veggies, the meat. I like to give it a little mix. Just because I have them on hand, I'm gonna add some avocados to the top. All right, let's take a bite. Start eating like this, guys, and your bodies will thank you. I'm done, Mom. So good. My child is ill. Okay, this is how Ellie's gonna eat her meal. All separated. It's good? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned some things, and I hope you got a new meal prep idea. Let me know if you try this recipe and what you think of it. If you like more videos like this, let me know, and like and subscribe to my channel. I've always wanted to say that, but I hope to see you in the next video.